Being broke is a temporary condition where you always have to wait for the next paycheck to survive. Some persons erroneously believe that it is beyond their control. But the good news is that you can take charge of your finances by making some attitude adjustments. In this video, we will be checking out 10 worst middle-class money habits keeping you broke, as recommended by Dave Ramsey. Number 10. If you can't afford it without a credit card, don't buy it.
People get credit cards for mainly one reason. So they can buy crap they don't have the money to buy.
Right.
And then they justify it going, well, I need to build my credit.
One of the most dangerous approaches to having a credit card is living under the illusion that you can afford things you actually do not have the money to afford. One good rule to live by is if you can't pay for something in cash, then you can't afford it with a card. On average, people who pay cash spend 25% less for the same goods and services. Paying by credit card means that no money leaves your bank account, and a month later, you receive a bill with the tempting offer to make a minimum payment. This small payment won't necessarily reduce the debt you're incurring, which increases over time if you don't clear all the debt at the end of each month. Some people end up only paying the interest on the debt they've built up on their credit card. And, to their dismay, this means that despite all the payments made, they actually owe more each month. Number 9. Have a fallback emergency fund.
Everybody say it with me, not an investment. Your emergency fund is insurance. You know what insurance does? It costs you money. It doesn't make you money. Why do you buy insurance if it costs you money? Because it covers your butt when things go bad. That's why you buy insurance. It's what your emergency fund is for.
Emergency savings provide financial security in unexpected situations such as medical emergencies, job loss, or major car repairs. It helps to avoid going into debt or making hasty financial decisions. The ideal amount to save in an emergency fund varies, but a common guideline is to aim for 3 to 6 months' worth of living expenses. However, the actual amount depends on your circumstances, like job stability, family size, and monthly expenses. Start by setting a goal, like saving 1 month's expenses, and gradually build it up. The key is to have easy access to the money in a separate account, like savings, and only use it for genuine emergencies. Number 8. Keep on investing. Dave Ramsey suggests investing in mutual funds, which are a diversified set of stocks. Therefore, they are a reduced risk way of entering the stock market. It stops the unsophisticated investor from having to pick stocks. One of the surest ways to lose your money in the stock market is to pick individual stocks. It's much like going to a casino. A handful of institutional investors who have built a career picking stocks are very good at finding hidden value in stocks and placing money correctly. The rest of us are not. Mutual funds allow us to place money into the stock market for slow, long-term growth, in a way that we don't lose money over the long term, but lets our money grow. Number 7. Cut out the wants, focus on the needs. There's always room in your personal budget to cut out unnecessary spending habits. This could be going to your favorite restaurant only once a month, or cutting down on your online shopping. The more you cut away the wants and spend only on the needs, the better your finances will be. There are many reasons why people might buy things that they want but do not need. In some cases, people may simply be impulsive shoppers who make purchases without thinking about whether or not they really need the item. In other cases, people may believe that they need the item in order to be happy or to keep up with others. Whatever the reason, buying things that we want but do not need can lead to clutter and financial problems. Number 6. Everything is better with a budget.
When you do a written budget on paper, on purpose, every dollar has an assignment before the month begins, and you're in agreement with your spouse on that, and that is not a theory, it is the directive for your month. You live according to the numbers that you write down. You do not spend anything except what is written down without coming back and adjusting the budget. When you do that, you will add a layer of communication to your marriage that will change your marriage in a good way. When you do that, you will get the stress off of your back, because not knowing if anything's getting done will drive you crazy.
Many people have no idea that spending is just a habit. And we all know habits travel under the radar of the conscious mind. By budgeting out your monthly expenses, you can better track where your money is going and where you can afford to spend it, and how much extra you have left to spend on the necessities. So if the time ever comes where you need to do a major cut down of your expenses, you will know exactly what to cut. There are tools online that can help you automate the process. Number 5, do not use your credit card for cash advances. If you need to use your credit card in order to have cash on hand, that is a sign that you are abusing your finances. Not only is the APR higher than regular purchases, but you'll likely also be charged a fee. Limit the number of cards you have. Multiple credit cards mean multiple payments and multiple cases of tacked-on interest. This is a setup for the eventual need for debt consolidation, if you cannot handle using the cards responsibly. The more charges accumulated on each card means more room to lose track of your spending and payments. Live below your means. The reason someone would or should live below their means is to build wealth. If you have no interest in building wealth, then there is no reason to live below your means. But if you do want to build wealth so that at some point in the future you can live off of your wealth instead of off your labor, living below your means is just about the only way to do it. How do you achieve this? The formula itself is fairly simple. Ensure that your monthly expenses are lower than your monthly take-home pay. And since most people have more direct control over their spending than they do over their income, this usually means cutting spending. And that is what makes it hard for a lot of persons. Number 3, reduce dining out. Every time you eat out, you end up spending more on food that includes breakfasts, lunches, and dinners. By planning your time properly, you can prepare all of your meals for the week at home, and it will save you some money. The difference might look small for now, but it would later add up to something huge. Number 2, practice generosity.
See, generous is not an action, generous is a character quality. And like integrity, it's a character quality that you choose. You're not born with it. It's not installed. You have to say, I am a generous person.
While you are focused on getting rid of the bad money habits, Ramsey also emphasizes on generosity. According to him, giving is the antidote for selfishness. Ramsey would often say, it's the hallmark character quality of those who win with money. Being a giver brings a form of contentment into our lives, where you become aware that your joy doesn't come from any item. For Christians, it is a good way of reflecting God's nature. You can start your giving with small amounts like paying your tithes to a local church or sending gifts to a charity. Then when you are at a better place financially, you can take it up to generously giving to others. Number 1, you don't need to buy a new car. Buying a used car is always better because someone else has already taken a big hit in terms of depreciation. This allows you to buy a good car for a much cheaper price. Before doing business with any dealership, check them out online. Look at their Google reviews, but don't stop there, as this might not tell the whole story. Figure out how they treat their customers if they sell any branded title or rebuild vehicles. Make sure you choose a dealership you trust before doing anything. Anytime you buy a new vehicle, you are going to take a massive depreciation hit in the first 3 years. So the second owner of a car can save as much as 50% off the MSRP. If you wind up buying a used car from an individual, you may get even a better deal. Make sure to have the car inspected by the dealership. You can also use services like Carfax to figure out if the vehicle has been in any serious accidents. The hardest part in trying to break out of these habits is limiting yourself. Spending has become one of the most popular temptations in today's society. Through these strategies, you can cut down on potential debt, all the while still having room left in your budget for yourself.